My first Dungeons and Dragons campaign ended because of one player. I was brand new, my fourth session ever. It started in school when a friend nudged me in history class and invited me to a game at his house. I'd never played, but it always looked fun online, so I decided to give it a shot. I created a 14-year-old paladin, a girl in armor with a sword almost as tall as she was. I cleared it with the whole group, and everyone agreed. I assumed that meant they'd treat the character with maturity. The first session was fine. We started in a prison. My character was there for stealing meat to feed a stray dog. The others were a bard, a ranger, and a barbarian. Things were innocent enough even when my paladin lectured the barbarian for killing a guard. But by the third session it got weird. We were in a tavern searching for a weapons dealer. My character was sitting in a booth with the bard, played by a guy I'll call Marco. While the others were off gathering information, Marco started a solo conversation, in character. He began describing all the women he'd been with, calling my paladin sweet. He described his character forcing her to look at him and holding her waist. I brushed it off. I'm not always the most perceptive. Later, after we'd ransacked a warehouse and were interrogating a henchman, I had my character search for documents. Marco said his bard followed mine, closely and silently. As I described her looking around, he had his character sit next to her and say, "Your face is so radiant when you're focused. I'd love to plant a kiss on those lips," and others in many more locations. Everyone went quiet. I was dumbfounded and told him he was being a weirdo. He got defensive, saying it was all innocent. At that point, I was ready to go home, and so was everyone else. That was the end of my first campaign. It had been really fun until then. I sometimes wonder if it was my fault for bringing a young character, but I know it shouldn't have happened. That was my first and last game, so far anyway.